Hello, friends. It has been a very, very long time. I posted a video. So this is another update as to everything that's been going on with me. From here, lots of good news, as you can see, even visually, the difference between my last. Let's pull that up. What I look like in my last video. I was just looking at this. The difference is kind of shocking. Like just showing what I look like. Man. Takes my camera to kind of see just the side-by-side comparison of what I looked like last time I made a video back in March to now, the drastic difference of my recovery from my brain surgery. So first off, I want to start off by saying just thank you everyone that supported me, all the love, prayers, and support. Without all that love and support, I definitely would not be where I'm at or look this good. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the love and support. So much better now. On that, let's just kind of talk about what's happened, and where things have gone. So I believe after that video I was posted, I was getting ready to go into my second surgery. For those of you that are just watching this for the first time or new here, my name's Eric. I'm a photographer, gamer, and I was diagnosed a few months ago with trigeminal schwannoma, which is a pretty intense brain tumor. Thankfully it was benign, it wasn't cancerous, but what it had done is physically pushed my brainstem 3 inches to the right. So where my where my brainstem should have been, it was moved over by 3 inches, and I was going through some pretty crazy stuff. And then the last video I posted was just I believe it was right after that first surgery. Looked pretty rough. Recovered pretty well from that one, and then going into the second surgery, honestly was kind of scared for my life at that point. Because the second surgery involved a process where we were getting the tumor around the brainstem. The first surgery was a debulking process. And I don't know if you can kind of see my scar. So this is from the first surgery, where they went in right here. The tumor was kind of behind my eye socket, and then wrapped over my earlobe and was down here pushing my brainstem. So the first surgery, we just tried to remove as much of the tumor as possible, and we got a good chunk of it. And then the second surgery, I don't even know if we can. My hair is kind of growing so fast, but it went the back of my ear, and we went in and removed the rest of the tumor. Now there is about 1% of the tumor that is left in me right now. It's under my skull. It's not attached to the brainstem, but it's in an area that was way too dangerous to operate. Stay hydrated, kids. Water's really important. But yeah, that area was way too dangerous to operate on. But the second surgery went just as well as the first surgery. It was supposed to be an 8-hour surgery, and it actually only ended up taking 6 hours. The surgeon said that the tumor just pretty much wanted to come out at this point. It wasn't stuck to my brainstem, thankfully, and it pretty much came out. So after that, I was in the hospital for about 3 days, which was absolutely incredible. Just like the first time I had surgery, I was in the hospital for 3 days. I recovered pretty well. Now, what the surgeon was expecting after the second surgery, because it was such a sensitive area, they expected me to be on some sort of breathing or feeding tube for almost 6 months after the second surgery. So the fact I was able to it was hard to walk, but get up and walk around and breathe and eat normally after that surgery was pretty amazing, because it could have been much worse. So they sent me home after 3 days, and that's when things got bad for me. It was probably the worst experience of my life. I was on a huge amount of steroids. Kind of saw in the last video, my weight was huge. I was, before this first surgery, I was 110 pounds. Leading up to the weeks into that first surgery, I had jumped up to 170 pounds. 2-3 weeks. The second surgery, I had dropped some of the weight, but I was still 155, 160. Currently, I've dropped quite a lot of it, and I am down to 145. So there's still quite a ways to go, but I'm not as swollen in the face. When I got home from that second surgery, I was puking every few hours. I really couldn't see. My vision had gone double. It was probably the worst, because I couldn't even watch TV, play games, relax at home, because I was barfing my guts out every few hours. I couldn't really eat, couldn't even drink water. Drinking water caused me to throw up. It was awful. So I was in pain, throwing up, couldn't eat, couldn't see, and I really couldn't walk. I had to use a walker just to get around the house upstairs. And even I was at home, wonderful that I wasn't in the hospital, but I was pretty miserable. I did have a great at-home care team, nursing staff that was absolutely wonderful, but there were days where I just sent them home because I couldn't deal with it. Emotionally, that was super terrible for me. I was going through a lot. I was laying in bed some days. I had given up. Okay, if I feel this bad, I could just die. I don't even care. So emotionally, I was pretty down. But the love and support that people sent me just kind of kept me pushing through, and I fought on, and I've recovered pretty damn well. So it's been a few months since surgery, and doing pretty damn well. So the worst thing, because I'm still recovering, honestly, I probably won't fully recover, maybe another year, but I'm not where I was a few months ago, struggling to walk, see, eat, sleep. A lot of those functions return to normal. The worst thing that I'm stuck with now is kind of, which could be permanent, is some, what I think now is paralysis on the left side of my face. I thought it was a lot of numbness for a while, but it's not. I can't really feel right here. I don't feel this. I don't feel a lot of the areas right here. Nose, mustache up here. Don't feel it. It's tingly around my eye socket. All tingly. I'm starting to regain sensation on the incision wounds where they went and cut in. That's actually been pretty painful lately. And then there's some numbness on the left side of my tongue. But when I eat, it's actually really embarrassing, really hard to eat, because food will just drop from my mouth all the time because these muscles aren't moving properly. and that damage could be permanent. It might not be. Could recover in time, but I'd take that any day over where I was a few months ago, or over what could have happened. I could have lost complete hearing in my left ear. It's a little muffled on the left side. I had a hearing test, and it's just barely off of what should be considered normal hearing, but that's okay. I do have full confidence that I will make a recovery. And then after surgery, another kind of semi-scary thing that happened, my heart rate was pretty irregular. So for those of you that don't know, the average resting heart rate for someone my age, about 30 years old, should be around 60 to 70. And my resting heart rate, just sitting down, talking to the camera like this, was resting at about 120 beats per minute, which is insane. And just like walking down the stairs or walking down the street, my heart rate would jump up to 150, 160. And the really scary thing is if it got into like the 200 range, which I did a few times, I was really susceptible to having some sort of stroke or heart attack on the spot. So there was a moment where I could have died just from walking down the street, which was really scary. I did go to the heart doctor, and we ran some tests, and kind of what the consensus was is that I'd been sedentary for so long. It's been about 8 months. My initial diagnosis, since I've been was out of work. Currently I'm back at work, which is great. I was out of work for probably about close to 7 months. But yeah, just because I hadn't been moving, I hadn't been able to exercise in that period of time, my heart rate was trying to just compensate for the sedentary lifestyle and increasing its natural resting heart rate, plus all the steroids and drugs they didn't help. So the kind of cure for that has actually been exercising, which seems counterintuitive, but the more I would actually push my heart rate and exercise, push it in a safe manner, keeping control of my heart rate all the time. If it got too high, I'd kind of stop, slow down, but just kind of push my heart rate to the next level. The resting rate came down over time, and I got this little fit band to tell me like my heart rate. Right now it's resting at about 90. But that's probably just because I haven't made a video forever. I'm a little I guess excited. But normally my heart rate's been resting now at about the high 70s, the low 80s, which is where it should be for kind of my sedentary lifestyle, kind of work at home, sit in front of the computer. But I'm slowly pushing myself to exercise more, lose all this weight that the dumb steroids have given me. So I'm getting myself back on track, back to the healthy lifestyle. I can eat more. I'm currently still on one of these steroids, just because while on the really intense steroids that helped reduce the swelling in my brain, remove all the headaches, it was great, but it also, on the negative side, put on a ton of weight, and then worse so, it made my body stop producing a certain hormone, and without this hormone I could have flopped over and died at any second. So there were several battles on this journey where I could have just died, just flopped over and died, and I didn't have any clue until I'd go to like my surgeon's appointment, and he's like, yeah, we need to change your medicine, your body stopped producing this hormone, we need to give you this other steroid to kickstart it so your body naturally produces it. And I go in October, to see the medication specialist again for the final time to find out if my body's naturally producing this hormone again. If it's not, I'm going to be on this steroid for the rest of my life, which is going to suck because this current steroid I'm on kills my appetite, makes it a lot harder to eat. Well, in the short term for my weight loss goals, that's going to be helpful. In the long term, this lack of appetite kind of killing things. So that's kind of my current struggle. I have faith that this hormone is returning and my body will naturally produce it. I can get off all of this medicine and get back to a healthy lifestyle. But yeah, that's kind of the short version of everything that's gone on. 8 months. And now, what are we looking forward to in the future? Well, I'm back at work, working overnights from home, which is awesome. Everyone was super thankful to have me back at work. My company really took care of me while gone. They saved my job for me, which I can't thank them enough because any other company would have just shut me out. So I got a new camera, which you're looking at, seeing the 4K resolution, all the nasty kind of scar spots, which is a side effect of this current medication I'm on. Kind of sucks as well. Leads to very itchy spots and he's scratching all the time, and yeah, that's been a terrible battle as well. But these are minor things compared to what could have been in the long. There's still about 1% of the tumor left underneath the skull, and there is absolutely no way to remove it. But what we're going to do to treat it, to prevent it from growing, is sometime within the next 3 months, I'm going to go through a gamma knife radiation treatment. Now, this is probably the least intensive radiation treatment that anyone can go through, so thankfully I'm not going to be on like chemo, going for radiation. I'm not going to lose my hair. I'm going to be attached to this head device, this capsule they're going to kind of screw into my head a little bit with these pins so I can't move my head, and stick me into what's like this complicated MRI machine. They're going to run an MRI, and then they're going to do precise radiation treatment on where the tumor is at, and it's going to prevent it from growing. Now, there's no real concern either way of it growing, because the surgeon and the radiation specialist that I saw today said that my tumor has probably been growing close to 20 years to get the size that it was. So there's no immediate need for it to be treated right away, because there's no thought that it's going to grow to that size ever again. But I definitely do want to treat it to prevent it from growing to that size next 20 years. I don't want to go through this again when I'm 50 years old. That would be absolutely terrible, and the outcome would probably be worse. So the fact that I can go through 1 day of a radiation treatment and be back on my feet within a day or two, absolutely incredible. The best possible outcome that I could hope for, because it definitely could be a lot worse. I went to the cancer center today, and just going into the waiting room to see the other patients terrified the crap out of me, just knowing where I could have been after diagnosis, where I'm now. It's amazing, and I'm so grateful and so thankful. Friends, family, everyone around me, anyone watching this video, as I am finally back to some sort of life. Where in my last video I didn't have kind of much hope for things to return to normal. Hell, I think things are honestly better off now than when I was diagnosed. Mentally, I don't think I was in the greatest thought when, even before I got diagnosed. Now I have a totally different outlook on life, and I'm grateful for so many things that I just was, I don't know, not taking advantage of, but just wasn't aware I'd ever be grateful for. The fact that I could put on socks and shoes, absolutely insane. Like the first time I was able to do that after the second surgery, I cheered, because for a good 6 months I couldn't put on shoes and socks by myself. I had to have someone else do it. I couldn't even bathe myself. I had to have a nurse come over and bathe me. And I used to do that for my grandfather before he passed away. The fact that I can bathe myself again, thing I'm thankful for, because it is not a fun experience to be on the receiving end of that. Even though my nursing staff was absolutely wonderful, and I'm so thankful they were around, and I had someone to do these things for me. I am so grateful that I can do it on my own. Is not being able to do them, even just mentally, kind of messes with me. So the fact that every day I make greater steps to get back to some sort of a normal life, and it's looking even better than I ever thought it could be, is pretty crazy. Mentally, I'm way more strong. Physically, I'm not quite there yet, but I'm going to get there. I have the will, I have the drive, I have the love and support of all these people around me to make a great life. So, thank you for anyone that supported me, just sent their love, appreciation. Because of you, I'm where I'm at today. Thank you, thank you. Going forward, I plan to do a lot of great things. Without you guys, I wouldn't be one. So I guess that's it for this video. Lots of talking coming forward. I'm probably going to be streaming on my Twitch channel a little bit more. I'll put that in the description, especially with this new camera. You can kind of see in the background WoW Class is coming out. I plan to stream that a good while. Hopefully I get back into the groove, into the motivation of making YouTube content again. I tend to lose my content creation vibes pretty easily, so I don't want to promise that, hey, I'm going to make a video every week, or hey, I'm going to stream all the time. I am going to try my best to motivate myself to create content again. I've been doing a lot of photo work lately, which has been absolutely incredible, being able to pick up a camera again, fall in love with that whole process. So definitely keep an eye out on like my Instagram. I suck at Facebook. Hell, I suck at Instagram. I don't hashtag anything. I definitely tag you if you've helped me create something, but I don't care for likes, or I'm not trying to build an audience. I create content, photos, videos, because it's something I enjoy, and as soon as I lose motivation for it, I don't push myself create as much as I could. And I know that's kind of disappointing to the small audience that I have built up, because you guys are there. Thank you for supporting me. I will try and push myself to maintain this motivation to create more content. But anyways, that's it for me. Thank you all. Subscribe, click the bell, all that fun stuff. Catch me out on Twitch TV. Once I get my garage a little bit clearer, I'm probably going to do some more drum videos too, so keep an eye out for some drum covers. And I guess Instagram for photos, because that's where I'm most active. Not really so much active on Facebook. But yeah, just social media is kind of falling off for me. But in the gaming world, Discord, Twitch, I'm still pretty active there. If you want to get a hold of me, check out my Discord. I'll put that in the link. And my Twitch channel. So thank you all. Hope you have a good day, good night, whenever you're watching this. I know I'm going to post this super late. So thank you. Honestly, thank you for everything you've done for me. We'll see you next time.